At what Tesla stock price point would I mortgage my house and make my grandma buy it? Not the house, the stock. I'll share that with you today. As you know, in my Tesla stock portfolio, the only stock I own is Tesla stock because that's my whole stock portfolio. So I'll share with you Tesla stock price at which I would make my grandma buy it. But if you know Stephen Mark Ryan, I think at that price point, he would actually sell his grandma. Kidding about Stephen Mark Ryan. I don't think he would ever sell his grandma to buy Tesla stock, I think. And you know, Stephen Mark Ryan from Solving the Money Problem is the kind of guy that buys 10 shares a day, 20 shares a day of Tesla stock. That's a lot of money. And if he told me that the reason why he wears the hat every single day is because he doesn't buy any shampoo because that saves him money, which then he can use to buy more Tesla stock, I would believe him. In fact, I have a slight suspicion he might already be doing, but only a slight suspicion, but it definitely seems plausible, doesn't it? The first time I bought my Tesla stock was in 2019, and after I bought it, it dropped almost 50%. And this feels very familiar. Right now, the stock from its high, you know, it was down almost 50% at one point, and now it's still down 33%. So this feels very familiar to me. Perhaps this is a very good buying opportunity, which I think it is, but at the same time, perhaps the key element to me getting to $10 million net worth is looking for opportunities, but how extreme upside, but the risk is very limited in the worst case scenario. So if you buy Tesla stock at the very, very high, maybe you don't want to take that possible risk where the stock doesn't really return much money in the worst case possible. But for me, the way I invest is I look at the worst case possible, and if it still makes sense, then I want to buy it as long as there's very high upside. I want to share this graph with you. Now, as you can see here, returns are based on $700 per share. Why is that? It's because Tesla stock is volatile. It goes up and down 50% in just a few weeks and then 50% down in just a few weeks. It has absolutely nothing to do with me making a video a week ago and calculating all the returns based on the present Tesla stock price a week ago, and now me having to throw away that whole video into which we spent 15 hours, 20 hours making it. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna share with you in a moment at what price point exactly I would buy in like crazy, where I would mortgage things and do things like that. By the way, I'm buying Tesla stock regularly with everything that I can, like spare cash, but I don't really need. That's the only thing, the only stock that I'm buying. But there's just this another level at which you just commit with everything you got. I'll share those levels, and I think there are really two levels like that. But first, we have to understand the basics. The basics of a stock price is profitability. How much money does the company make? In Tesla's case, the simplest way to do this is just to look at 2021 net profit, $4 billion, and then we know Tesla will definitely deliver 10 million vehicles per year. That's a guarantee, that's a given. There's no question about that. Unless aliens come to Earth, then my projections are likely to change. So how much profit will we make when we deliver 10 million vehicles? At least 10 times more than that compared to when we deliver 1 million vehicles. That's the simplest way. Of course, average selling prices are going to change a little bit because now we sell more expensive vehicles and we're going to sell less expensive vehicles. But then, hey, look, we're only including automotive. We're not including full self driving. We're not including Dojo assistors. We're not including solar panels. We're not including energy storage. We're not including HVAC. We're not including any of those things. Only automotive is what we're really talking about here. And then we're going to give Tesla a bad PE ratio of, let's say, just 20. We're going to go nasty, really wild here. We're going to assume this is a complete Titanic that we are in right now. And we are talking about numbers to be achieved by 2030, so in 8 years. So we have established that this is the worst case scenario, $800 per share, which really it is not. Because if we base all these numbers on the profits that we generated from the first quarter of 2022, profits actually doubled per every single vehicle delivered when we compare to profits of 2021. And remember, we were still building 2 factories at that height, so the profits are going to increase. There's just so many things that Tesla has going for it. But let's say 20 PE ratio, we're going nasty here. And of course, right now, Tesla stock is at $800. So basically, you make nothing if this comes true. Although there are analysts that have Tesla stock price target right now under $100. Now, I don't know what we're doing, maybe drugs, but what we're gonna do is math. S&P 500 last 50 years averaged basically a little bit over 10%, almost 11% per year return. And that's really the gold standard that I'm looking at for a relatively safe investment. So if we buy at $400, then we get a return of 9% per year in 8 years. Is math. Chicken Genius Singapore would buy Tesla stock again at $420, but you know me, I told you I don't do drugs. So for me, I like 369 a little bit better because that is pretty close to S&P 500. Now, at this price point, I would be buying with everything I can, but would I be mortgaging my house? I would be seriously considering, but I would want it to go just a little bit lower. At 340 is when we basically beat S&P 500, and that is when I am seriously considering doing some somewhat irresponsible things, you could say. Because my conviction is that there is a 99% chance, actually 99.9% chance that Tesla stock will be at $800 per share in basically 8 years in 2030, or higher than 800. But look, 11% returns, that's amazing and great. But that's basically S&P 500. There's nothing really special about that. It's safe, it's nice, but this is basically the worst case of Tesla, and you're getting S&P 500. Amazing, nothing spectacular. But the benchmark of return is really Warren Buffett's returns. Throughout his whole career, he averaged 20% annual compounded return. And if I can achieve that, then I'm mortgaging my house and I'm telling my grandma, Tesla stock, buy everything you can while you can, because you won't be able to do it for a long time. And to achieve that, really, we need the stock to drop down to $185. And in that case, we still get that juicy 20% a year annual compounded rate of return. I believe that is the price when Stephen Mark Ryan from Solving the Money Problem would maybe, just maybe, consider, I'm not saying sell, but consider selling his grandma. By the way, today I was not going to make a video because I've been having knee problems since 13 because when I do something, I just go a little bit too hard. So when I was a teenager, I was running a lot. I would run many miles pretty much every single day. I would play table tennis many hours, and that was really hard on my knees. And today I had this injection into my knees, which hopefully will help with my knee pain. It's been pretty bad. I can do all the stuff normally, but I just can't run or do squats. I can do maybe a few, but if I did 20, I would probably be in bed all day. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you appreciate it, and hopefully you found it useful. I tried to do my best here to provide value to all of you. Basically what I'm just trying to do with my life is just try to be useful, really. I don't need to work, but I feel bad when I don't, and I just want to do the right thing, and I think it's going to be useful to many people. You know, right now, I believe if you buy stock right now, Tesla stock, it's a good deal. But, you know, there are price points where it's a good deal. But hey, look, if you find a stock and you think it's going to go 10x, but there's a 50% chance it's going to go to zero, do you really want to make that investment? But with Tesla stock, the chances of it going to zero are almost zero. Maybe. Definitely not financial advice, but you know, lots of possibilities here. So, and just one last thing to say, you know how Stephen Mark Ryan always says, I slept with your girlfriend, well, and then he follows up by saying, you don't even have a girlfriend, well, my response to that, to him, is this, you're right. I don't have a girlfriend, I have a wife. I'll see you in the next video. I will stand up now and try not to make stupid faces that I put all my weight on my right knee, which is where they did the injection. It hurts, but hopefully it will get better.